Wow, you guys,
All right, it ain't getting any lighter.
oh, quit your whining.
That was a good one. You know, me and Caleb, we saw we could do it. We could do this thing because, I mean, them guys, the other spies, 10 of them, it's a bunch of wussies. They got their panties all in a bunch. They saw
You've
these
seen these big guys.
giants, yeah. What were they, maybe 15 feet tall or
Yeah.
so? Caleb?
Take them off at the knees.
Well, we knew we had Yahweh.
Yeah.
Yahweh's bigger than them.
No way.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Everything's big there. Everything.
Yeah. And
Bagels.
you can see.
Bagels?
Bigger than your head. Bagels. I'm telling you. Where would you like them, lady?
Well, are they really that heavy?
Oh yeah.
Believe me.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, they are heavy. And juicy.
And juicy.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
juicy.
Take one bottle out of one grape.
Oh my goodness. So I see you've got it all, got everything concord.
Yeah.
I see what she did there. Very nice.
Well, okay, where are we going to put these? You're just in time because we can have them at One.
If we put them here, I think that would be great.
Fine. Leave them there. Oh, wow.
Stop whining, yeah.
There's a great deal of gravity in what
Oh
you say.
my goodness. So you crushed the enemy?
Oh.
It was a great feat. All right, guys, sit
We're outta
down. Sit down, Josh. Sit down, Caleb. Oy vey. Let's give the guys a hand. You know, when I contacted Michael the other night, was it last night or the night before? Was it last night? Yeah. I said, guess what you're going to do?
Thanks a bunch.
Thanks a bunch. Oh my goodness. They're trying to cluster up the courage. And it gets worse. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Do you think Yahweh's cracking up right now? Okay, well, now that that's taken care of. Oh, wow. Okay, so we've got these spies. Moshe sent out 12 spies, but like Josh here was saying, he wasn't joshing you either. He said 10 of them were kind of weepy, weepy, weepy.
Yep.
And they came back with a bad report. They said, look at these guys, these inhabitants of Canaan. We look like grasshoppers next to them. I think they were probably exaggerating a little bit, but they said that the Anaki were there, and them's big guys.
Yep.
Yeah, I think some of them played some b-ball because they were really big. But two guys, those two guys,
Yep.
Joshua and Caleb,
Hallelujah.
they came back with a good report. Not only did they come back with a good report, they came back with a lot of fruit, a lot of big fruit, a lot of grapes. And so that would be a lot of wine for celebrating. Now, the bad report that the 10 spies brought, that was just hearsay. That was just hearsay. Their opinion was colored by their fear.
Right.
They had heard about these giants in the land, you know, and they were already prepared to see giants and to see their own defeat. But the good report came with proof. When the 10 spies with the bad report came, what proof did they have? Except for the knees knocking. But Joshua and Caleb came back with proof. They came back with giant fruit, giant clusters of grapes and pomegranates and other fruit that grew in the land there. It was good land, so that's what they were focusing on. Now we have a theme running through here we've got the 2 spies that came back with the good report. In Joshua and Yehoshua, there was also 2 spies sent. And they were there to spy out the land, to check everything out, especially Jericho, because they had heard, this fortified city, Jericho. And so they went to check and see if everything that they had heard was true. In this reading, we see, in the first reading and the second reading, we see a biblical buddy system. This is not only done for safety, but also for accountability. So if one of these guys gets taken out, the other one can run. No. The other one can run for help or drag his injured buddy, away from danger. But there was also accountability. They made sure that they went to do what they were told to do.
Amen.
If it was only one, it would be easy to say, like the 10 with the bad report, this is impossible, One may not even get there to truly see what's there. Maybe fear would overtake the one, but with 2, they could bolster each other's courage and egg each other on to get there and do what they're supposed to do. Rahav, the woman of ill repute, knew that Yahweh had given the Israelites the land, and her people were already fearful of them. They had heard a report about the Israelites, and they were already afraid. In the first instance, with the spies that went, who knows, but maybe the inhabitants had heard reports of these mighty Israelites coming in. Maybe their knees would be knocking. Maybe that encounter would have been settled way before any battle ensued. So Rahab said, we're fearful of you. Our hearts are melting. That's the literal translation. Our hearts are melting for fear. Now the spies were representatives. They were the sent out ones. They were the sent out ones of Yahweh. The word for sent out one, Shelach, is the Greek version is apostolos. They were apostles. They were sent out ones. The faith of the spies and the faith of Rahab in the one who sent them was their salvation.
Hallelujah.
So it wasn't so much the faith in these 2 guys that were hiding. She was hiding them. But it was the faith of the one that they served. In Marcus, Yeshua, which is the same name. And actuality, when people translate the name Yeshua to an English form or Greek form, they say Jesus, even though there's no J. But a more accurate translation would have been Joshua. Not Jesus, Joshua. So Yeshua or Yehoshua was walking to Jerusalem with his Talmidim, his disciples. They were amazed because he walked ahead of them, and they were afraid. He was fearless. He knew what was up ahead. He knew he could handle what was up ahead. Yeshua told them what was about to happen to him. He said, the Son of Man will be delivered over to the chief priests and the scribes, and they will condemn him to death and deliver him over to the Gentiles. And they will mock him and spit on him and flog him and kill him. The good news is, after 3 days, he will rise.
Glory.
Hallelujah.
Amen. And he did. He
Amen.
kept that promise. 2 of the Talmidim, there's the pair again, the 2, Yaakov and Yochanan, the sons of Zebedee, evidently forgot the danger. They had other things on their mind. Their minds were on their position in the kingdom. No doubt they were Jewish, nice Jewish boys, and they listened to their Jewish mother.
Glory.
Yeah, all Jewish mothers think that their sons are special. And so she was hoping that they would have positions to the right and to the left of Yeshua when he came into his kingdom. But they had their eyes and their thoughts on the kingship and the kingdom, but they didn't count the cost of their request. Remember on Mount Golgotha, when Yeshua was hung on the execution stake, who was at the left and who was at the right? If they knew, if Yaakov and Yochanan had known who would be on his left and who would be on his right, I don't think they would be as eager to be in those positions. The Hebrew word, like I said, Shelach, comes from Shelach, as a sent one. Its Greek equivalent, apostolos, means sent out ones. And we're actually supposed to be that way. We're supposed to be representatives of the kingdom. We're supposed to be messengers. And of course, messengers bring news. We have some pretty good news to bring.
Hallelujah.
Not the fearful news of, oh, the world's going to defeat us. We're afraid of what's going to happen in these last days. Let's store up our food, store up our water, hide in a little spider hole.
There you go. Fake news.
We know, yeah, it's going to be rough. And yes, it's good to be prepared, but do not let fear overtake you. We know in the end Yahweh will be victorious. And so we need to cling to him.
Amen.
Now these messengers, they were emissaries with a foreign mission. And they had the authority of a delegate of the kingdom. Like those who are sent out 2 by 2, do the will of Yahweh, we must also have someone that we can be accountable to. We need to have our prayer partners. How many of you have a prayer partner? A person that you pray with? Yes, that's my prayer partner right there. If you don't have one, get you one. It's so important as believers, we need to be encouraged in our walk. Husbands and wives are automatically, you should be prayer partners. You should be praying together. As they say, the family that prays together stays together. If you're not married, ladies, get another godly woman and pray with them. If it's your sister, your mother, your friend, your auntie, your cousin, whoever, pray with them. Gentlemen, find a godly man who will stand with you and pray with you. Each of us need to be accountable. We are accountable to Yahweh, but we need to be reminded by our partner, our prayer partner, who should ask us, how's your prayer life? Is there anything that we need to pray about? This is all encouragement. This is strengthening us. Iron sharpens iron. And if the knife is away from the whetstone, it's going to get dull fast. Get yourself a prayer partner. So we walk in a faith. We walk in faith that where Yahweh guides, he provides. Now, like those who are sent out 2 by 2, they do the will of Yahweh. We also must have someone to be accountable to, and that we can kind of tell, not our secrets, but confess to each other. Someone we trust. Now, it's interesting that the names of Caleb and Joshua, Yahweh has a way of using numbers to remind us of things, but also names. The name Caleb, or Caleb, means devotion or faithful in Hebrew. And Joshua comes from Yehoshua, Yeshua, which means Yahweh's salvation or Yahweh saves. Caleb also means dog in Hebrew. Sorry, Mika.
Use the right accent.
But this is not a bad thing,
Nope.
because isn't a dog called man's best friend? They're loyal, even unto death.
Yes.
I mean, we've all seen where, especially canine units, in the military and in the police force, those dogs love their masters so much. They go ahead, they plow right through
Yep.
where mines are,
Right.
IEDs. They will, I don't doubt that they would pick up a hand grenade in their mouth and run off with it to save their master.
Yeah.
They love with a devotion that goes beyond human love. This is the way we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be Caleb. Can you picture man's best friend lying at the feet of the master,
Yep.
trusting that he will guide and provide? If you've ever owned a dog, you know how much they love you. We only love a portion of how much those faithful ones love us. We must have faith just like that in our master. We must have faith that he can and will do everything that he promises, for he is faithful.
Hallelujah.
Our Creator honors faithfulness. Even as individuals, we walk 2 by 2 with the Ruach HaKodesh. As it is written in Matthew 18:20, for where 2 or 3 are gathered together in agreement, in his name, his authority, there he is in our midst.
Hallelujah.
The Spirit of Yahweh also keeps us accountable for our words and actions, and also bolsters our faith. We are to be true followers of Yeshua as disciples, as emissaries, apostles, representatives of the kingdom. We learn discipline as we sit at the Master's feet. As Shelachim sent out ones, we are ambassadors of the kingdom. Let us be like Joshua and Caleb, devoted in our faith towards the one who is Yahweh's salvation. May we use what we have learned at the feet of Yeshua to walk out our faith so as to bring the bountiful harvest of souls into the kingdom. All rise for the Haggadah.